Ladies and gentlemen, good evening, and it is my hope and prayer that this video is actually going to find you guys in good health. Personally, I am fine. I'm still in the village, and the village is also fantastic. Maybe you could also let me know where you are watching the video from, the county or the country, in case you are out of the republic. Ladies and gentlemen, yesterday a major political event took place in Ukambani, and that event is going to shape the politics of this country moving forward. As a matter of fact, that event has actually sent Kenya Kwanza into panic mode. I've seen the reaction. For those who followed that event yesterday, I was unfortunate I could not watch it yesterday, but I've followed it today. Two things are very clear. Number one, that the entire Azimio brigades were in Ukambani. Why do you think the entire Azimio brigades were in Ukambani? Number two, it was also clear from the way it was organized that Kalonzo Musyoka was being given certain prominence. Why do you think this event was designed like that? In this video, those are what I want to reveal to you guys. The main objective of this particular event, because I've always told you that in politics, nothing happens out of mere coincidence. Everything in politics is normally well planned, well scripted, and executed to achieve a specific political objectives. But before we do all those, in case you're watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. What we always do on this channel is that we analyze politics in a way you can't find any other place. Now, let us begin this video. I just want to branch a bit, then I'll come back. What are some of the possible political formations for 2027? Okay, let me ask you, let me reframe it. Which formation do you think can defeat William Ruto? Because for Kenya Kwanza, we already know that they have a presidential candidate in 2027. And that presidential candidate is Ruto. On Azimio, what formation do you think can beat Ruto? The talks which are there, and I've always mentioned it here, is that there are plans to have Kalonzo Musyoka as a presidential candidate, and then pair Kalonzo Musyoka with someone from Western Kenya. And the talks is between Oparanya, the ODM deputy party leader, and or Oparanya or Eugene Wamalwa. The idea is have Kalonzo, then have Oparanya or Wamalwa to consolidate Western. Then you go and campaign in Azimio stronghold, that is Nyanza, Western, Ukambani, and coastal region. And then you hope that Kalonzo Musyoka's candidature will attract more support in the mountain than Raila Odinga's candidature would do. Most people believe that's a winning formation. Some people also still believe that Raila Odinga should actually be the presidential candidate, then have Kalonzo Musyoka as a running mate, and then that formation will also do. Most people also believe that you can have a formation where Kalonzo Musyoka is the presidential candidate, then you have a running mate from the coastal region or from Western Kenya, then you create the position of the prime minister for Raila Odinga. So for you who is watching now, which political formation do you think can win for Azimio? I want you to look at the meeting which took place yesterday from that particular line. But what were the objectives? Why do you think that particular event in Yatta is giving Kenya Kwanza sleepless nights? I've listened to the statement or response from the Minister for Defense, Eden Duale, and you can see he's actually terrified. I've listened to others also. Why do you think they are having sleepless nights? Number one, this meeting, if you ask me, was intended or was a strategy to give Kalonzo Musyoka more prominence in Azimio. For those who've been following the politics very closely of late, you should have noted that a few things or changes have taken place. Azimio press statements and press conferences are nowadays held more at Kalonzo Musyoka's center as opposed to Orange House, where they used to happen before. The other thing which is also very clear is that in most cases nowadays, Kalonzo Musyoka would always read some of these statements as opposed to Raila Odinga reading them as before. And again, it's also very clear that Kalonzo Musyoka is now being trained to be kind of more vibrant in terms of firebrand politics, which resonates so well with other Azimio supporters. So this meeting, which took place in Yatta, in my view, was intended to give Kalonzo Musyoka that prominence. So moving forward, Kalonzo Musyoka will now be above Martha Karua, maybe just below Raila and below Uhuru in Azimio order. But the idea is to have Kalonzo Musyoka be the main person. Even as Raila and Uhuru would be there, but Kalonzo would be the main person. And that is why what is giving these guys sleepless nights. And in their response, you should have noted that William Ruto is now focusing more in Nyanza, because I think he has been informed that Raila Odinga might not run. And in case Raila Odinga might not be on the ballot, then he has to work extra hard to chew into the Lu Nyanza voting block, because Lu Nyanza has always voted for Raila Odinga, because Raila Odinga has always been on the ballot. The fact that if Raila Odinga will not be on the ballot, then what next? That's why William Ruto is now focusing, especially in Homa Bay. A lot of political activities are happening in Homa Bay and in Migori. He wants to try and split South Nyanza and Central Nyanza, just because of the emergence of Kalonzo Musyoka as a potential presidential candidate. Number two, this event is also giving Kenya Kwanza sleepless nights, because it is intended to rally, or it was intended to rally the Kamba nation to Azimio. The intention is to thwart William Ruto's schemes in Ukambani. You know, the moment Azimio, or the moment it will become clear that Azimio are going to go for Kalonzo Musyoka as a presidential candidate, nobody in Ukambani will challenge Kalonzo Musyoka. Kalonzo Musyoka will be everything, alpha and omega in Ukambani. And that's why during yesterday's event, you saw the governor for Machakos, Wavinya Ndeti, present. Someone who has been avoiding Raila Odinga, who has been avoiding Kalonzo Musyoka's rallies. That's why you saw Malombe present. The only person I didn't see was Mutula Kilonzo Jr. Most members of parliament from Ukambani are currently trying so hard to be seen with Kalonzo Musyoka, because of the possibility of Kalonzo Musyoka becoming a presidential candidate. The moment Kalonzo will become a presidential candidate, it will be the end game, or end of story for those who are opposed to him. And that's why these guys organized that event. They've been giving Kalonzo Musyoka prominence in Azimio. Then now they organized a major political event. That event was attended by who is who in Ukambani. And the message was very clear: Kalonzo Musyoka's 2027 presidential bid. Number three, if you've been studying Azimio, it's kind of, they're now changing their strategy. And the strategy, the new change is to shift the focus from Raila Odinga. If you want to, Kenya Kwanza probably understands how to deal with Raila Odinga. And because they understand how to deal with Raila Odinga, it became impossible for Azimio to come up with better strategies. So it means now that the focus is shifting from Uhuru Kenyatta, because if they go to Rift Valley or they go to Western, if they go to Rift Valley or the mountain, their subject has always been Raila Odinga. It means now they'll now not focus on Raila, but they'll now start thinking on how to deal with Kalonzo Musyoka. And the issue of Yatta farm will always come up, and probably that explains why Kalonzo Musyoka addressed the issue of Yatta farm during yesterday's event, because he explained it that it was sold to him by a widow. You get? So the change of strategy is what is worrying Kenya Kwanza. What will they be telling the people if they go to the mountain? Will they continue telling them about Raila or Kalonzo, or will they now brand Kalonzo as a project? Number four, the unity in Azimio. William Ruto and his brigades have always tried so hard to split Azimio, so that they have, like you see what they are doing in Jubilee. Yeah, if they had succeeded, for example, in doing whatever they are doing in Jubilee to Wiper and to ODM, we'll not be having parties today. We'll be having one party state called Kenya Kwanza. But this event was intended to show that Azimio is united, and they're united in opposing Kenya Kwanza government. So that if you're a member of parliament in Wiper and you're working with Ruto, then you just know that you are alone, you are not part of the team. So the Azimio unity was also being displayed, that we are going to stick together as at now. And number 5, I also tend to think that the intention of this particular event is what informed William Ruto's bid in the last election: early campaigns, early preparations. We are talking of 2027 politics. Kalonzo must start preparing early. If Azimio supporters were to accept the fact that Raila Odinga will not be on the ballot, it would only be fair for them to start seeing Kalonzo Musyoka being groomed. You know, those signs has to start coming out. They must start seeing seriousness in Kalonzo Musyoka. In fact, the good thing is that on this channel, I teach you a lot of politics. The other day, I explained to you guys a few things which Azimio, Raila and Uhuru must do. One of them was that they needed to identify a presidential candidate early enough. Are we now seeing them unveiling a presidential candidate? Then that candidate can now then be sold. If there are propaganda against him, then there would be enough time to deal with those propaganda. And lastly, I also tend to think that the intention of that particular meeting was generally to consolidate the support base. Kalonzo Musyoka must consolidate the Ukambani. Raila Odinga must consolidate his bases. Uhuru Kenyatta must also try and consolidate his bases, because the main aim of Uhuru, Raila in the next election is to defeat Ruto. Whether that person who will be defeating Ruto is Raila, Kalonzo, Wamalwa, or even myself, then it has to start now. They must consolidate. And it's a fact that a strong ODM, a strong Wiper, a strong Jubilee, and a strong DAP Kenya is good for Azimio. If the individual parties are weak, then there's no point. And that's why they went there to consolidate the Ukambani support base. I don't know what you think. That's my take. Thank you guys, and may you have a good day. Bye-bye.